Hi future officers, welcome to EduTap and welcome to another important CT360 series session in which we cover the GA and ESI current affairs from the exam point of view. I believe that aap sabhi ki preparation for the exam are really going good, and let me tell you guys that today I am back with a very interesting session in which we will be covering the most important news articles from 23rd to 24th of February 2024, and I am also having a very important topic, that is the first moon landing by a private company. We all know that last year India was in a situation of awe because Chandrayaan 3 has landed on the South Pole region, and it became the first country across the world to land on the South Pole region. And that is my dear friends, let me tell you that in this particular session we will be discussing another important achievement in the same area. So good evening Rahul, Sonal and everybody who have really joined this particular session. Guys, if I'm audible and visible to all of you, please give me a thumbs up in the chat box so that we can start with the particular session. So I can see here from the responses that yes, I'm audible and visible to all of you. So guys, if I talk about the topic that we are going to cover in the today's session, this includes we are having a very important scheme, that is Swachh Bharat Mission Urban 2.0. Then we are having some other important news articles which are relevant for only phase 1 of the exam, like first moon landing by a private vehicle. Then we have India's largest tribal festival, Milan 2024, and some other important topics. So Ravi, Tamiz, Sonal, Rahul, I believe कि आप सभी ready हैं आज के session के लिए. And let me tell you, my dear friends, let us just start with the very first topic of our today's session, which are only relevant for phase 1 of the exam. And the first topic is the first moon landing by private company. So guys, we all know that last year Chandrayaan 3 became the first to land on the South Pole region of the moon. And let me tell you guys that it's just within a single year there are 3 attempts has been made to land on the moon. We all know about the Chandrayaan 3, we all know about the SLIM mission of Japan, and now this private mission was the third one in this particular chronology to land on the moon. And let me tell you guys that it also marks the first landing. It marks the first successful landing of a commercial spacecraft on the moon, and that is why it is really very important from the exam point of view to cover this news article. So when I talk about the details of this news article, you can see here that Odysseus, please remember the name here because it can be asked in the exam, a spacecraft which is built by Intuitive Machines, जिसने कि Falcon 9 rocket को use किया है in order to basically launch this particular part. ठीक है? This ODS spacecraft carried 6 NASA payloads to the moon. And let me tell you, my dear friends, that the very first time when US has launched and landed on the moon, it was in 1972 when they launched Apollo 17 mission. So Apollo 17 के बाद, after more than 50 years, this particular landing has been done by US, and this time it has been done by a private organization and not a government project. Okay, that is basically the difference, that what exactly is the difference between the previous one and this part. And let me tell you guys that in the 2026 NASA is also having a particular objective of sending humans to the moon, and that too in which year? Can anybody tell me that in the comment section, that in which year they are targeting to achieve this target? That year is basically 2026. Now one more important point comes to my mind, and that point is, I have already told you about that yes, the first moon landing was being done in 1972 from the US when they launched Apollo 17. Can you tell me the name of the first spacecraft which was the first to reach the Earth orbit? We all know that India is going to launch a Gaganyaan mission, as we are basically aiming to send humans to the Earth orbit. But which was the first such kind of initiative, the first such project which was being launched? And that was basically Sputnik 1. So that is basically the name of that particular spacecraft which was being launched in that particular year. Okay, so पहली moon landing की अगर हम बात करें, it was done by Luna 9 of the Soviet Union, which happened in 1966. Another important point which you can remember. तो यहाँ से हमने cover कर लिया है कि first moon landing by a private spacecraft has been done. तो यहाँ पर commercial landing हुई है, and that is what the key highlight of this particular news article. And I hope that this article is very much clear to all of you. Let's move on to the next important news article, and that is basically regarding the India's first Gati Shakti Research Chair. So guys, when I talk about this research chair has been established, इंडिया की पहली गति शक्ति रिसर्च चेयर एस्टैब्लिश की गई है इन आईएम शिलोंग। आईएम शिलोंग की अगर हम बात करते हैं तो एक एमओयू साइन किया है मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ पोर्ट्स ने आईएम शिलोंग के साथ इन ऑर्डर टू सेट अप दिस पर्टिकुलर चेयर। नाउ अ क्वेश्चन मस्ट बी पॉपिंग आउट इन योर माइंड कि क्या काम होगा, ये जो रिसर्च चेयर है इसका क्या काम होगा, व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इट विल बी डूइंग। सो बेसिकली दिस रिसर्च चेयर इज रियली गोइंग टू प्ले अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल। इट विल बी बिल्डिंग नॉलेज ऑन द मल्टी मॉडल लॉजिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट और मेजर फोकस जो इसका रहेगा इट विल बी द नॉर्थ ईस्ट रीजन। तो नॉर्थ ईस्ट रीजन के अंदर ये बेसिकली फोकस करने वाला है। अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट ये फैसिलिटेट करेगा नॉलेज और इनोवेशन को भी, सो दैट वहां पर जो लॉजिस्टिक पोटेंशियल है उसको इंक्रीज किया जा सके और हमें जो भी इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें हैं उसको हम अचीव कर सकें। ठीक है, तो बेसिकली हम क्या करने वाले हैं, एक कोलैबोरेशन भी करने वाले हैं अपने ग्लोबल एक्सपर्ट्स के साथ, सो दैट कि टेक्नोलॉजीज को लाया जा सके और मेजर इंपॉर्टेंट जो रीसेंट टेक्नोलॉजीज हैं उनको लाया जा सके, सो दैट वी कैन ऑल्सो एनहांस द पोटेंशियल ऑफ लॉजिस्टिक्स इन द नॉर्थ ईस्ट रीजन ऑफ आवर कंट्री। एंड फॉर दिस the first PM Gati Shakti research chair has been established at IIM Shillong, a very important part. So please note down this particular point. It is really important to be covered from the exam point of view. Now let us move on to the third important news article from the today's part. And you can see here from the headline that Union Tribal Affairs Minister has visited country's largest tribal festival. See guys, largest tribal festival. ऐसे ही points पर exam के अंदर questions पूछे जाते हैं and that is why we are really required to cover these points from the exam point of view. So when I talk about the country's largest tribal festival, what is the name? The name is Samakka Sarlama Jatra. तो ये उसका नाम है जो हमें याद रखना चाहिए फ्रॉम द एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू। लेट मी टेल यू गाइस दैट इट इज द सेकंड लार्जेस्ट फेयर। अगर हम फेयर्स की बात करते हैं तो ये सेकंड नंबर पे आता है लिस्ट के अंदर, बट अगर हम ट्राइबल फेस्टिवल की बात करें तो इट कम्स ऑन द फर्स्ट नंबर। और कौन सी ट्राइब है जो इसको सेलिब्रेट करती है? इट इज द कोया ट्राइब। इट इज द कोया ट्राइब विच इज बेसिकली इन तेलंगाना। तो तेलंगाना के अंदर कोया ट्राइब इसको सेलिब्रेट करती है एंड इट इज बीन डन इन कोलैबोरेशन विद द ट्राइबल वेलफेयर डिपार्टमेंट गवर्नमेंट ऑफ तेलंगाना। और ये जत्रा की अगर हम बात करें, इट वाज डिक्लेयर्ड एज द स्टेट फेस्टिवल इन 1996। माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, ऑल द पॉइंट्स दैट आई एम मार्किंग हियर दे आर रियली गोइंग टू help you out in solving the MCQs that I will be bringing to you in the upcoming part of the session. So make sure कि आप इन सभी पॉइंट्स को नोट डाउन करें और इन सभी पॉइंट्स को रिटेन करें फ्रॉम द अपकमिंग पार्ट ऑफ द स्लाइड्स। ओके, अनदर इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट दैट यू शुड रिमेंबर इज दैट दिस पर्टिकुलर festival is being celebrated once in every 2 years. Okay, so it is basically once in every 2 years. It is a biennial festival. So all the points we have discussed, all the important points have been discussed from the exam point of view regarding this news article. Let's move on to the next important news article, that is Milan 24. तो Milan 24 है एक यहां पर मल्टीनेशनल, अगर हम बात करते हैं एक नेवल एक्सरसाइज जो कि रिसेंटली लॉन्च की गई है बाय द इंडियन नेवी। और कहां पर हुई है? Whenever such kind of exercise is being launched, you are really required to remember that what is the location of that exercise. क्या लोकेशन है जहां पर इसको लॉन्च किया गया, जहां पर ये एक्सरसाइज कंडक्ट की जा रही है? सो दैट इज बेसिकली विशाखापट्टनम। तो विशाखापट्टनम के अंदर इसको यहां पर कंडक्ट किया जा रहा है एंड around 50 navies are participating in this exercise. The name of the exercise is Milan 24. Where it will be held? It is taking place in Visakhapatnam. That is the right answer. Now guys, there is another important news article from the person in news, and let me tell you that former chief minister of Maharashtra, who was also the former Lok Sabha speaker, has passed away recently. The name of the person is Manohar Joshi. So Shri Manohar Joshi has been passed away recently, and basically he was earlier served as the former CM of Maharashtra and he was also the former Lok Sabha speaker. I believe that these points are really clear to all of you. Let's move on to the another important news article, and that article is United Nations celebrates the International Mother Language Day on 21st of February. So guys, अगर हम बात करते हैं International Mother Language Day की, तो this day basically promotes the multilingualism, diversity, and it promotes the different languages. And we all know guys that I will also be touching that point in the upcoming part of the slide. Before that, let us understand the theme. What exactly is the theme? Whenever we cover the important days, we always cover that yes, what exactly is the theme of that particular day. जब भी कोई important day आता है न्यूज के अंदर, there are only two things across which the question can be asked. First one is the date on which it is being celebrated and the second one is the theme on which it is being done. ठीक है, तो इंटरनेशनल मदर लैंग्वेज डे की थीम क्या है? द थीम इज मल्टीलिंगुअल एजुकेशन, अ पिलर ऑफ लर्निंग एंड इंटरजेनरेशनल लर्निंग. सो दिस इज बेसिकली द थीम फॉर द इंटरनेशनल मदर लैंग्वेज डे. 21 फरवरी को सेलिब्रेट किया जाता है. Now guys, let us also discuss some other important points. The other important points are that on this particular part, United Nations has announced that 40% of the global population, जो हमारी 40% ग्लोबल पॉपुलेशन का जो 40% पॉपुलेशन है, दे बेसिकली लैक्स एक्सेस टू द एजुकेशन इन देयर नेटिव लैंग्वेज. ओके, जैसा कि हम सभी जानते हैं दैट इन द नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी व्हिच वाज बीइंग इंप्लीमेंटेड इन इंडिया, सो वहां पर उन्होंने काफी फोकस किया कि अपने नेटिव लैंग्वेज के अंदर हम अपने एजुकेशन को अटेन करें. एंड दैट इज व्हाई ये इसी पॉइंट को हिट करता है दैट 40% ऑफ द ग्लोबल पॉपुलेशन लैक्स एक्सेस to education in their native language. Apart from that, 45% of the estimated 7,000 languages, जो ऐसे 7,000 languages हैं जो कि बोली जाती हैं लोगों के द्वारा, तो ये endangered list के अंदर है. So that is another point. अगर हम बात करते हैं कि for the very first time ये जो International Mother Language Day है, can anybody of you tell me that which country gave this idea of celebrating the International Mother Language Day? I am waiting for a response in the chat box. Can anybody tell me what is the name of that country? Let me give you a small hint that it is the neighbor country of India. What is it? The name of that country is Bangladesh. So Bangladesh gave the idea of basically celebrating International Mother Language Day, and on 17th of November 1999 it was announced that yes, we will be celebrating this particular day on 21st of February. और यहाँ पर I can see that Ratnadeep has given me the right answer, that Bangladesh is the right answer. Absolutely right. So these are the important things that we should cover: the date, the theme, and these data, because they can also be asked from the exam point of view. So now, my dear friends, we have covered the important part. Now let me tell you that there is another important point regarding this thing, that on the occasion of this particular day, we are also launching a particular exhibition, and the name of the exhibition is अक्षर शब्द भाषा. सो एक एग्जीबिशन को लॉन्च किया गया है ऑन द ओकेजन ऑफ इंटरनेशनल मदर लैंग्वेज डे, एंड दैट पर्टिकुलर थिंग हैज बीन गिवन टू यू. यू कैन जस्ट रिटेन दैट पर्टिकुलर नेम. द नेम इज अक्षर शब्द भाषा, and it has been launched by IGNCA, and you have to tell me what is the full form of IGNCA in the comment section. ठीक है, तो आप सभी के लिए होमवर्क रहा. IGNCA के फुल फॉर्म मुझे बताइएगा चैट बॉक्स के अंदर क्या है इसके फुल फॉर्म. So now guys, let's move on to the next important news article, the important article which is really very important from the exam point of view, which is really going to help you out in phase 1, phase 2 as well as the interview part as well, and that is a very important scheme. So guys, before moving on to that particular article, I want to tell you that decades ago Mahatma Gandhi said that sanitation is more important than political freedom. Sanitation is more important than political freedom. And my dear friends, we all know that we have the 17 sustainable development goals. We are trying to achieve them by which year? 2030. And sustainable development goals also plays a very important, significant emphasis on cleanliness, sanitation, and hygiene. And better, if these three things are being provided to the people together, it is a justified study that yes, if these three things are being provided to the people together in a better manner, then it really reduces the vector-borne diseases, parasite infections, and also the nutritional deficiencies. And that is the reason, guys, it was really important to include cleanliness in the government's development agenda. And that is the reason that Government of India come up with a very beautiful plan, that was Swachh Bharat Mission in year 2014, and they were having three very important objectives with that. What exactly these objectives were? Can anybody tell me in the chat box that what were the objectives of the Swachh Bharat Mission Urban? Let me give you a hint that the first one was 100% ओपन डेफिकेशन फ्री स्टेटस फॉर ऑल. सो बेसिकली अगर हम बात करते हैं पहले ऑब्जेक्टिव की, इट वाज द 100% ODF status. That was the first one that you are really required to cover. Then other part was basically awareing the people about this thing, and how? By making it a जन आंदोलन. तो जन आंदोलन के जरिए इसको अचीव करना काफी ज्यादा जरूरी था. ठीक है. एंड द थर्ड वन इज 100% साइंटिफिक सॉलिड वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट. अब आप सभी के मन में क्वेश्चन आ रहा होगा दैट व्हाट इज द साइंटिफिक सॉलिड वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट. तो गाइस, बेसिकली इट इज हैंडलिंग the waste in a sound manner, disposing it in a sound manner, and making sure that it is not impacting the environment. That is what it is, the scientific solid waste management, by making sure that yes, we are doing these three things by using the scientific methods and principles. That is what it is. So अगर हम बात करते हैं स्वच्छ भारत मिशन की, so let me tell you guys that in 2021 Government of India come up with a very another important plan, that is Swachh Bharat Mission Urban 2.0. And earlier हमने काफी सारे objectives को achieve किया था, and these objectives are basically I have already told you. But now what was the objective? The objective was to make India clean. कैसे clean करेंगे? By making cities garbage free. That was basically the main objective of this particular प्रधानमंत्री स्वच्छ भारत मिशन अर्बन 2.0. ठीक है जी. तो अगर हम बात करते हैं किसी भी स्कीम की, तो यू ऑल नो दैट देयर आर सम सर्टेन डायमेंशंस अक्रॉस व्हिच वी आर रिक्वायर्ड टू कवर. अभी हमने बात की कि यस, विद दिस हेल्प ऑफ स्कीम व्हाट वी वांट टू अचीव, वी वांट टू मेक सिटीज गार्बेज फ्री. तो उसके लिए कोई ना कोई एक्सपेंडिचर होगा, कोई ना कोई मिनिस्ट्री को रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेनी होगी, कोई एम होगा, ऑब्जेक्टिव होगा, उस पर्टिकुलर स्कीम के कुछ कंपोनेंट्स होंगे, और इन सभी डायमेंशंस को हम कवर करेंगे आज के सेशन के अंदर. सो गाइस, व्हेन आई टॉक अबाउट सब मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज द लॉन्च ईयर ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर स्कीम. सो द स्कीम वाज लॉन्च इन ईयर 2021. The first point is very clear to all of you. The answer is 2021. As we all know that we are talking about the Swachh Bharat Mission Urban. तो अर्बन एरियाज के अंदर कौन सी मिनिस्ट्री रिस्पॉन्सिबल होगी? जो अर्बन अफेयर से कैटर करती होगी. What is the name of that ministry? So guys, can you tell me that what is the name of that particular ministry? The name of the ministry is Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. So Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs is the ministry which is the nodal ministry for Swachh Bharat Mission Urban, which was launched in 2021. The 2.0 has been launched in 2021. ठीक है जी. अगर हम बात करते हैं पुराने वाले की, तो first one was basically launched in 2014. I have already told you. And what is the aim? I have already discussed this, that to make cities completely free of garbage. ठीक है. तो ऑब्जेक्टिव्स की अगर हम बात करते हैं स्कीम के, तो जैसा कि मैंने आपको कहा था कि इन द फर्स्ट वन एज वेल देयर वाज अ ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ 100% scientific solid waste management, and once again we are having the sustainable solid waste management. Now we are moving towards sustainable solid waste management, we are moving towards the sustainable development. That's why we are having such kind of objectives under the Swachh Bharat Mission Urban 2.0. Then we have sustainable sanitation and treatment of the used water. See guys, हमने पहले चीजों को अचीव किया इन वन वे और दी अदर, बट नाउ वी वांट कि सभी चीजों को हम यहां पर अचीव करें इन अ सस्टेनेबल मैनर, एंड दैट इज द रीजन दैट वी आर हैविंग द सस्टेनेबल सॉलिड वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट एंड द सस्टेनेबल सैनिटेशन एंड ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ द यूज्ड वाटर. देन वी आर आल्सो रिक्वायर्ड टू aware the people that what exactly is the importance of this particular thing, and that is why awareness creation with a large scale citizen outreach कैसे होगा? By creating a जन आंदोलन. जन आंदोलन के जरिए हम लोगों को इकट्ठा कर सकते हैं, लोगों को अवेयर कर सकते हैं, so that yes, they are sensitized about the importance of cleanliness, and that is what this particular scheme basically targeted to. ठीक है जी. तो सॉलिड वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट की हमने ऑलरेडी बात कर ली है. उसके बाद हमारे जो इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं इंडिया के अंदर, which basically are responsible for such kind of activities to basically make sure that yes, cleanliness is there, तो उनकी institutional capacity को increase करना भी जरूरी है. That is why another objective is create institutional capacity to effectively implement programmatic interventions. That means जो भी intervention, जो भी काम हम करना चाहते हैं स्कीम के अंदर, उन सभी को सक्सेसफुली किया जा सके, उसके लिए अपने इंस्टीट्यूशंस की कैपेसिटी को रेज करना बहुत जरूरी है. ठीक है. And when we talk about another important part, guys, we all know that certainly we always see there is a question in the exam that that XYZ scheme is centrally sponsored or a central sector scheme. So अगर हम बात करते हैं स्वच्छ भारत मिशन अर्बन की, so it is a centrally sponsored scheme. Centrally sponsored scheme कौन सी होती है? जहां पर गवर्नमेंट और स्टेट दोनों का ही फंडिंग पैटर्न में कोई ना कोई रोल होता है, दोनों ही अपने एलोकेशंस देती है, एंड दैट इज व्हाई माय डियर फ्रेंड्स यू कैन सी हियर दैट वी विल बी डिस्कसिंग द फंडिंग पैटर्न इन अ डिटेल्ड मैनर. बट बिफोर दैट वी मस्ट कवर दैट यस, व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज द टेन्योर. टेन्योर क्या है स्कीम का, किस पीरियड के लिए काम करेगी, देन उसका एलोकेशन क्या होगा उस पीरियड के लिए, एंड देन वी विल मूव टू द फंडिंग पैटर्न. ओके. तो टेन्योर क्या है इसका? द टेन्योर विल बी फ्रॉम 2021 2022 टू 2025 2026. दैट इज द टेन्योर फॉर स्वच्छ भारत मिशन अर्बन 2.0. ठीक है. अगर हम बात करते हैं फाइनेंशियल आउटले की, द आउटले फॉर दिस स्कीम इज 1,41,600 crores. This is the financial outlay. And I told you that this is a centrally sponsored scheme. तो यहाँ पर कुछ गवर्नमेंट का, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का शेयर रहने वाला है, and that share will be 36,465 crores. So guys, now we have covered the tenure. We have covered what is the financial allocation. Now it's the time we should cover that what is the funding pattern under this particular scheme. अगर हम बात करते हैं सेंटर और स्टेट के डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की, तो हम देख सकते हैं फॉर द urban local bodies in northeast and Himalayan states, it is 90% is to 10% ratio. वो UTs which are without legislature, they are having 100%. The UTs with legislature, they are having 80% and 20%, 80% by the center and 20% by the state. Then 25% by the center, 75% by the state for the urban local bodies which are having the population more than 10 lakhs. So this is basically the funding pattern for this particular scheme under the different situations as per their locality and the population of that particular place. For example, अगर हम बात करते हैं 1 lakh to 10 lakh population के लिए, तो it is 33 to 67. तो आप याद रख सकते हैं guys that जहां पर ज्यादा population है वहां पर 25% कम परसेंटेज दिया जा रहा है बाय द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट. जहां पर पॉपुलेशन 1 लाख से 10 लाख की हो गई है तो वहां पर ज्यादा कंपोनेंट हो गया है हमारा सेंटर का. एंड अगर 1 लाख पॉपुलेशन से कम है पॉपुलेशन तो 50-50 रहेगा दोनों सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का. तो इस तरीके से आप याद कर सकते हैं फ्रॉम द एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू व्हाट इज द फंडिंग पैटर्न फॉर द स्वच्छ भारत मिशन अर्बन 2.0. सो अभी हमने बात की कि हमने टेन्योर कर लिया है कवर, हमने फाइनेंशियल आउटले को कवर कर लिया है. नाउ कम्स टू द मोर इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट दैट व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज the different components of this particular mission. तो हमने बात की थी guys components की, तो हमने बात की थी sustainable solid waste management. तो sustainable solid waste management is the first component of this particular mission, and इसके अंदर what we are targeting to achieve, basically we want to make cities clean. So that is first one, to make all cities clean and garbage free. ठीक है, इस बात को हम बिल्कुल स्टार्टिंग से डिस्कस कर रहे हैं that yes what is the aim of coming up with this kind of mission. ठीक है, with 100% scientific processing of the municipal solid waste. I already told you that what exactly the scientific solid waste management is. ठीक है, तो अगर हम बात करते हैं components, what exactly are the different components of the municipal solid waste? So guys, आप सभी ने देखा होगा that with the timeline of 7 to 10 AM we always see that such kind of vehicle comes to our door step and it collects the waste and it just went away. So that is basically done under this particular mission only, and this is called door to door collection of waste. ठीक है, तो सोर्स सेग्रीगेशन बहुत जरूरी है, डोर टू डोर कलेक्शन बहुत जरूरी है. देन ट्रांसपोर्टेशन जो है इसका वो सेपरेटली होना चाहिए, बल्क वेस्ट जनरेटर्स होने चाहिए और यूजर फी भी होनी चाहिए बिकॉज एवरीथिंग कैन नॉट बी डन इन अ फ्री मैनर. ओके, अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट गाइस we will also be setting up the construction and demolition waste processing facilities. वेस्ट प्रोसेसिंग फैसिलिटीज को यहां पर हम कंस्ट्रक्ट करेंगे. हमारे पास कंस्ट्रक्शन होना चाहिए और डिमोलिशन, तो ऐसी वेस्ट प्रोसेसिंग फैसिलिटीज होनी चाहिए. ठीक है, देन वी हैव अ रिमेडिएशन ऑफ द लेगेसी डंप साइट्स. व्हाट आर दीज लेगेसी डंप साइट्स? दीज डंप साइट्स आर दोज which where basically ये सारा का सारा जो वेस्ट है कलेक्ट किया जाता है एक पर्टिकुलर प्लेस पे. यू कैन सी हियर one of the legacy dump site. What exactly it is? I believe कि इसको देखकर you will really get the idea that what exactly it is. Okay, then we are having the another important component that is sustainable sanitation. We covered that yes हमें sustainable solid waste management करना है but sustainable sanitation की तरफ भी हमें focus करना है. So to sustain the open defecation free status in all the statutory towns was the part under the sustainable sanitation. And when we talk about the eligible components under this part, so these are construction of individual household latrines. So basically what exactly the different steps government is going to take under this component? These are individual household latrines को construct किया जाएगा, community and public toilet seats को construct किया जाएगा, then there will be construction of urinals along with the retrofitting of insanitary toilets. So all these will be constructed under this component that is the sustainable sanitation. And I told you that the father of our nation said that sanitation is more important than political freedom, and that is why we are really focusing on this particular part of sanitation. Now let's move on to some other important mission components. We have the used water management. You all know that the water that we consume, the water that we already used, so what exactly is going to be done after that? उसका प्रॉपर कलेक्शन होना चाहिए, उसका सेग्रीगेशन होना चाहिए, उसका ट्रीटमेंट होना चाहिए, then we can reuse that particular water. And that's what the plan of it is. We have to ensure that there is no untreated fecal sludge or the used water, and उसको environment के अंदर भी हमें जाने नहीं देना है, ठीक है। जितना भी यूज वाटर है उसको सेफली कंटेन किया जाए, ट्रांसपोर्ट किया जाए और उसको ट्रीट किया जाए, ठीक है। Then there will be information, education and communication or behavior change communication to make sure that जो हम awareness create करना चाहते हैं लोगों के अंदर through जन आंदोलन वो अच्छे से हो, and it also serves its purpose. Apart from that, we are also required to create institutional capacity. As I already told you, institutions की capacity को raise करना है so that we can really achieve the purposes of those programmatic interventions that we have launched under the Swachh Bharat Mission Urban. So guys, with this particular part, we have covered this particular scheme in a beautiful manner. But let me tell you that just covering this news article is not at all enough for you. Why so? Because exam के अंदर आपसे पूछे जाएंगे MCQs, and MCQs को आपको solve करना आना चाहिए. That is why, so that कि आज के session में जो पढ़ा उसको आज ही revise किया, उसके लिए we have also brought some MCQs for all of you. And now it's the time for you to show that yes, what is your attention power in the chat box. अब आपके सामने आएंगे MCQs और आपको बताना है उनके सही आंसर chat box के अंदर. पहला क्वेश्चन आप सभी के सामने स्क्रीन पर, and guys, the first question is basically on this particular, the largest tribal festival. So आपके सामने एक क्वेश्चन है, you are required to identify the correct statement with respect to this particular part. So kindly go through these 5 statements, tell me what is the right answer. So it is an annual festival celebrated by the Koya tribe in Telangana. We have already covered this part, that yes, it is being celebrated by Koya tribe in Telangana, but it is not a annual festival, it is a biennial festival. That is why first statement is incorrect. Second statement, that this festival is considered the largest tribal festival in India. See guys, we all know that yes, it is the largest tribal festival in India. That is why this part is absolutely right. So I can see here that some students have mentioned option A as the right answer. Guys, please see, that is what you are really required to focus on in the exam as well, that yes, you are focusing on the question, the demand of the question, and you're also reading the statements very carefully. So यहाँ पर आप सभी ने जिसने इसका option A दिया था, let me tell you guys that it is not an annual festival. It is a biennial festival, and that is why the first statement is incorrect. Moving on to the second statement, it is absolutely right. So we are not required to go through the further statements. What is the reason? The reason is we have already got the right answer. That option B is the right answer to this particular question. That is the approach that you should use when you are also solving such kind of questions in the exam. I hope this is clear to all of you. Let's move on to the next important question of the today's session. And the next question is here on the screen. The question is on this recent development in the lunar exploration. I told you that the first commercial space landing has been done on the moon, and you have to tell me what is the right answer here. You are required to identify the correct statement with respect to these lunar explorations. We will go by these 5 statements one by one. Let's see what is the right answer to this part. Okay, so the very first statement is that the spacecraft was constructed by Intuitive Machines, was launched using SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket. So guys, please tell me the statement number 1 is right or wrong. Please tell me in the chat box, statement 1 is right or wrong. Statement 1 is absolutely right. Statement number 2, it carried a total of 10 NASA payloads to the Mars. See, in the question we are directly asking about the lunar exploration, and here it is mentioned Mars. So guys, इसको तो आंख बंद करके गलत कर दीजिए, ठीक है, आंख बंद करके एलिमिनेट कीजिए इस ऑप्शन को, because it is not at all correct. Third statement is Nova C, the lander module of Odysseus, is the first commercial spacecraft to land on the moon's south pole region. We have already covered this part. Yes, it is the first such commercial landing which has been taken on the moon, and that is why the statement is also correct. So please correct me guys if I am right or wrong. The third statement is right or wrong. Please tell me in the chat box. Okay, moving on to the fourth statement. The mission marks the first time a government space agency has successfully landed on the lunar surface. So guys, अभी हमने बात की थी कि third statement is correct because it was the first commercial spacecraft, and now in the fourth statement it is mentioned that it is a government space agency. So by this keyword only we can just mention that yes, we can eliminate the statement number 4. So the statement number 4 has been eliminated. So till now we have only got the one statement right. Sorry, the 2 statements right, that is first and third statement. Let's move on to the fifth statement. Chandrayaan 3 was the first to land in the moon's South Pole region, followed by Nova C this year. Is this statement right or wrong? Please quickly tell me, guys, is this statement right or wrong? This statement is absolutely right. So the right answer is option number B, that is all 1, 3 and 5. All these three statements are absolutely right. I hope this is important, and guys, you have really got the way that yes, by which manner we are really required to approach these questions. If you have got the way, please tell me, please type yes in the chat box that yes, we have got this way of covering these questions, of solving these MCQs from the exam point of view. Okay, so second question is also done. Let's move on to the third question. This question is the googly question, guys. Okay, this is a googly question. Make sure that you are reading this question very carefully and then only tell me what is the right answer. Okay, I'm giving you time. Please make sure that yes, you are very carefully reading this question, because this question is not just a simple one. तो ये क्वेश्चन है आपका स्वच्छ भारत मिशन अर्बन 2.0 पे, and you have to identify the correct statements again. There are three statements, but these three statements are across each statement or represents different dimensions of that particular scheme, and that is why this question is going to act as a googly statement for all of you, googly question for all of you. तो पहली statement क्या है? That the scheme was launched in 2021 with the aim of making cities completely free of garbage. Absolutely right. With sustainable solid waste management as one of its components. क्या component था या नहीं था? Guys, if I talk about this statement, this is absolutely right. Why so? Because yes, this was the component. Second statement, the mission is a centrally sponsored scheme with a financial outlay of 2 lakh crores. So guys, 2 lakh crore से हमें बिल्कुल clear होता है that this statement is absolutely incorrect. Why? Because the outlay for that particular scheme is 1,41,000 crores, and that is why this statement is absolutely incorrect. Third statement is the tenure of Swachh Bharat Mission 2.0 is from 2021 to 2022 to 2025-26. Absolutely right. So guys, first part of the statement is absolutely right. There is no issue. Let's move on to the second part of the statement, that with the funding pattern between center and state distribution of project fund to be 100% for UTs with legislature. So guys, here it is mentioned with legislature. So I told you that yes, it was 100% for the UTs, but for those particular UTs which are without legislature. That is why this statement is also incorrect. What is the right answer? The right answer is option A, that is 1 only. So guys, do you like this particular question? Please tell me in the chat box. Chat box के अंदर आप मुझे बताइएगा after the session that yes, you have really liked this kind of googly question or not, and we will definitely be bringing such kind of questions for all of you in the upcoming sessions as well. Okay, so that is absolutely the right part. Option A is the right answer. Let's move on to the next question. So अगला क्वेश्चन आप सभी के सामने है. In the context of the International Mother Language Day, you have to observe these statements and identify the correct statements. So guys, once again, the data is on a various different dimensions. Please quickly tell me what is the right answer. First statement is on the theme. The theme for the day was multilingual education, a pillar of learning and intergenerational learning. Absolutely right. First statement is right. Second statement, approximately 40% of the global population does not have access to education in a language they speak or understand. That means unki native language. Third statement is, out of the estimated 7,000 languages spoken worldwide, 45% are not at risk of becoming endangered. So guys, we have already covered. We have covered this part in this particular news discussion that yes, 45% are becoming endangered. That is why this statement is incorrect. What will be the right answer? The right answer to this particular question is option A, as both statement 1 and 2 are absolutely right. ठीक है? तो जो students ने option E को answer दिया है, guys, it is not the right answer. The right answer is option A only. Both 1 and 2 are correct. Okay? So that is this. And now guys, we are moving towards the last question of our today's session, and that is the homework question. तो ये homework question आप सभी के लिए है आज के session के लिए. Please make sure कि आप इस session को pause करें after the conclusion of this session and tell me in the comment section. कमेंट सेक्शन के अंदर मुझे बताइएगा that what is the right answer to this question, and we will reveal the right answer in the next session for this particular part. और इसी तरीके से we have also given a homework question in the previous session as well. Let me also tell you the right answer to that question. The right answer to this particular question, which was on the flood management and border areas program, so it was basically option A, as the statement number 1 and 5 were correct, and that was the right answer to this particular question. So this is the right part, guys. So that was all from the today's session. And guys, if you are still new to your YouTube channel, kindly subscribe it and press the bell icon to receive all the latest updates of the courses and videos offered by us. And you can also join our टेलीग्राम चैनल टू एक्सेस द पीडीएफ ऑफ दिस सेशंस, जिसका लिंक आपको मिल जाएगा डिस्क्रिप्शन के अंदर। तो आज के सेशन भी अगर आपको करना है तो आप डिस्क्रिप्शन के नीचे जो दिया गया लिंक है वहां से टेलीग्राम चैनल को ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं और वहां से आप ले सकते हैं पीडीएफ सेशन का। ठीक है जी। सो दैट वाज ऑल फ्रॉम द टुडे सेशन गाइस। इफ यू आर हैविंग एनी क्वेरीज, प्लीज फील फ्री टू रिवर्ट विद योर क्वेरीज इन द चैट बॉक्स। यू कैन ask your queries right now, or you can ask your queries at the by posting your queries in the comment section as well. We will be answering all your queries in the comment section as well. Do not worry about it, but make sure that yes, you are giving me the right answer of the homework question in the comment section. And you can also post your views regarding this particular session, that how this particular session was, whether you have liked the session or not. You can definitely tell us about that in the comment section of this particular session. All the kind of feedbacks are really welcome from all of you. Okay, so guys, if you are still having any kind of query and you want some kind of mentorship call from us, then you can also call us at 814-620-7241. You can mail us at hello@edutap.co.in. So I'm waiting for one more minute. If there are any more queries guys, please feel free to ask your queries. Otherwise, I will be concluding this particular session. So here Ravi Prakash is asking that can we revisit the Nova C lunar mission question? Okay, so definitely we can revisit Ravi. So here is basically that particular question from the Nova C mission. So here we have the lunar exploration. Can you just repeat that what exactly is the problem that you have faced in this kind of question? In this question, what was the issue that you have faced? So basically you were required to identify the correct statements. Okay. So statement 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 5 statements were there. Definitely Sonal, I have noted down your point and I will definitely work on that part. So the statement number 1 was regarding that yes, it is constructed by Intuitive Machines and it was launched using SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket. That was absolutely right, Ravi. Then we have the ODS carried a total of 10 NASA payloads. This was absolutely incorrect because there were 6 payloads and that was not sent to Mars, that was sent to the moon. So Nova C has already landed, Ravi. That was basically the news, the key news that yes, it has basically landed. So Chandrayaan 3 was the first to land in the moon's South Pole region, followed by Nova C this year. Absolutely first was the Chandrayaan 3 and this was followed by Nova C this year. Okay. So that is why the statement number 5 is also right. I hope that your doubt is clear now. Please tell me in the chat box if your doubt is clear or not. First one was the Chandrayaan 3 and it was followed by the Nova C this year. So Nova C has already landed and it has, that's why it has become the second to basically land on the moon's South Pole region. And it is the first one with the commercial landing. Okay, so I hope that this is clear. Thank you for confirming that yes, it is clear. So my dear friend, that was all from the today's session. I hope that your queries are already done, and in case you are having some more queries, then definitely post down your queries in the comment section and I will definitely answer your queries there. So guys, thank you for joining us. Wish you all a very happy learning.